Yeah, tough last 9 minutes. Again, I think it was got off to a great start. Did a lot of really good things on both ends of the court, they're good. I'd be very remiss if I didn't congratulate Tom. Man, 30 years, incredible successes. Passing Bob Knight, become the all-time winningest coach is so special. And Tom's become a great friend, and we have a lot of late night conversations. So my hat's off to him. They played like a Tom Izzo team, gritty, nasty. We talked to our team a lot about winning the battle of the glass, and we didn't win the game. And we fell in love with what was easy, which was shooting threes, and got away from, I thought the difference was the last 10 minutes of the game, where we had been living in the paint. Merez was having success. KJ was terrific in the first half, getting in the paint. We just stopped, and I wish I had the answer for that. We just stopped, and that stresses your defense. And Jackson Kohler had a terrific night, 10 rebounds, 6 of them offensive, and again, that was ball game.
Questions for KJ?
Derek.
KJ, what did change? You guys have gotten so many fouls on them. What kind of changed with the mindset? Was it fatigue? What was it?
Yeah, so like the coach said, we didn't drive the ball as good as we did in the first half, and the last 10 minutes. Starting on me, I took some very bad shots without touching the paint, without creating anything, without creating for others, and I think that led us to the loss.
KJ, was MSU doing anything differently to take away the lane as far as that goes, or that was just kind of your guys' decision?
No, I think that was on us. Like I said, especially me. I didn't initiate the offense good tonight, and I have to be better at it.
I guess when you get in maybe a stretch like that, how difficult is it to break out of it, where maybe it just kind of snowballs on itself a little bit?
What was the question?
I guess how tough is it to kind of break out of maybe a rut like that when things are not going well?
Yeah, so I think it's just like mentally we have to come back and just like today we should drive. After a few bad shot selection, we should start driving the ball more and try to find the next action and not settling for the shot again and again.
You guys obviously huddle a lot on the floor. Who kind of do you look to be that voice to maybe get back on the right shot selection?
Like I said, I didn't do a good job because I didn't shoot good shots, and I didn't accent to the team that way. Like on the timeouts, we were accenting that they were in bonus. The last maybe 10 minutes they were in double bonus, so we had to drive, but we didn't.
Guess with rebounding, what led to Michigan State, having the edge there? Was it something they did, something you guys did?
Yeah, I think we didn't like, especially guards didn't. We didn't help the big guys to get the defensive rebounds. We needed to box out better and be harder.
KJ, you guys had a 16-point lead there in the first half. What do you think led to that, and then what changed to where it was only a 4-point game at halftime?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I think we shared the ball well. We made some shots. We ran good. We started on the defensive end pretty well. and then, like I said, we stopped driving the ball, stopped penetrating their defense, and then it just led to bad shot selection. They got a few offensive rebounds in a row, and that's what led to tie game in the half.
Okay. We'll let KJ go. Thank you, KJ.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? Raise your hand. We'll get mics to you. Doug, you start.
Coach said, Tom, he went 11 deep. You essentially only played 7 guys. Dre just 3 minutes. Was that a factor? And is there anything you can share with the status of Trey White and why he's not seeing any playing time?
No. That's what they do. That's what they do. They've got a bunch of guys that play. They're deep. They've got one guy in double figures, and they go deep. And, so.
Brad, who you looking to change when you feel like you're settling for too much easy as far as the threes? Like, what do you want to see differently, or who is that onus on, do you think?
Yeah, ultimately it's me. I mean, we've got to get back to we're running the same plays, a lot of the same actions, and when it gets harder, we've still got to make sure we're finding that balance. I thought we had some good looks. I thought Ben got one. I thought Will had a couple in the paint. Merez had some success. Tommy has a Cohen Carr in a post up right at the front of the rim and missed it. Those are the difference between cutting into a lead or taking the lead, and yet I just thought that KJ had a good look in the corner. Tommy had a good look in the corner. Ben had one or two right there in a row, and again, those are shots we shoot, and they're shots that we make. But the succession of those was probably the thing that bothered me, and it's where we got to help this young group grow. Is maybe we've got to understand that we got to get the ball downhill, and Bam goes out in that stretch, and he's very effective doing that with the cut above his eye. But no excuses. I've got to continue to hammer this group about finding the paint.
Brad, was there any similarities to the UCLA late in the game? And you said it's on you. Like, do you have to call timeout? Like, what do you have to try and do different in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's and I always like to hold my timeouts till late if the game's close. So I don't think it's that. I think it's you're up 16 or 18 against UCLA. I mean, different than being behind. I think it's more in the UCLA game. I thought we got a little bit. Trying not to lose instead of staying aggressive. Tonight, I just thought it was just not being tough enough to get the ball where we needed to get it and then finish. And we got it there a couple times and they made some plays. But we've got to learn to head ram better, get to the foul line better, and when we do that, we're a really, really good basketball team, and that's something we've got to start consciously doing. I probably played KJ too many minutes. It's I got to get Draven going back again, and that's ultimately on me and Trey going again, and we'll get those guys going. But again, it's that's my job to do a better job of getting those guys in.
I know offensive rebounds are a big thing for you. Are you more frustrated about maybe not getting as many as you'd hoped, or them turning their offensive rebounds into those second chance points?
Oh, I'm furious with them. What they do is, they run a little action called floppy, and there's a lot of ability to drive the ball to the paint, and the game is decided at the front of the rim. And in the first game, they made a lot of layups. Or got the ball there. And when your bigs go help or support in a ball screen, that leaves their bigs open. And it's crackdowns for guards that have to rebound, and all of a sudden you've got Jackson Kohler and you've got Cooper and you've got all those guys at the front of the rim with size. And, Tom's no dummy. He runs those little guards off all those floppy actions and gets them in the paint. And if you support that, he tells them just throw it up. And they go rebound it. They're the number one offensive rebounding team in the league. And that we talked about for 2 days was where the game was going to be decided. And, Tommy had one rebound at half. I think Merez had one defensive rebound at half, and that puts you in harm's way.
Brad, you talked about your friendship with and respect for Tom Izzo. What's it like for you to watch him get this milestone win over your guys?
Well, it stinks. Now I got to listen to his ass, every time I talk to him at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you knew you were going to get their best after their game the other night, when people do it the right way and they care about people, that's genuine and it's honest and it's for the well-being of that person. Tom and I come from a generation where that's why we got into this business. It wasn't always about winning. Yes, we're competitive, but it was about seeing young people grow. And I'll never forget my first year. We played senior night there, and I saw Tum Tum Nairn kiss the floor, and I said, "That's the program I want," and because that goes beyond a game. Those are lifetime relationships that you go through. Unfortunately, the portal's probably ruined a lot of that crap, but that stuff is so cool, man, because that's as hard as you can push them in practice, and you coach and you go through the ups and downs. Man, those guys are about Michigan State basketball. And Tom Izzo, yeah, Judd was there before, but 30 years. I have so much respect for the longevity of that, and the fact that he's, I don't know what it's Tom, 69 or 70, I don't know, and still wanting to do that speaks volumes. So long-winded answer, I'm sorry, but it's I truly, he's one of the great guys, and I'm truly happy for him. I just wish it had happened last week and not tonight.
Brad, UCLA, 53 points in the second half. Tonight, Michigan State about 1.2, 3 points per possession. I know you're facing good people, but what's your assessment of the defense here recently?
Yeah, it's got to be better. It's got to be better. We got to figure it out. It's got to be better. Can't do it just at the start of the game or when we want to or when we're fresh or when we're engaged mentally. It's got to be better. And that's something we got to go to work on.
Kohler making 4 threes is probably unexpected, but like when he does early, does that necessitate a shift, or does that cause a shift in maybe a plan?
I mean, it's the same guy that we played in the first game that didn't make any or made one. Yeah, probably a little bit. It caused you to do a few different things. I was much more worried about his 10 rebounds than I was, his threes. We're giving some help off of him, but our closeouts were just not very aggressive. And we have to be more aggressive when we're closing out to those guys. They're Big Ten players, and they're going to make shots if you're not trying to bother them a little more.
Coach Underwood, you mentioned the portal. How much of an impact does the portal have on your coaching style at this point of the season? Are you thinking about it?
The portal?
Yes.
I think about it every single day.
How does it affect your coaching style?
It doesn't. I mean, it's we've got. I think any coach who's not thinking about the portal is going to be so far behind they'll never have a chance. I think I don't know, what are we, a month from Selection Sunday? And the portal opens on Monday after, during the NCAA tournament. If you're not trying to worry about the portal and all those things, it doesn't affect my style. I mean, but as a collective staff, we're we're always dialed into recruiting, and that's basically what that is. So whether it's high school or the portal, but yeah, so it's just all part of it.
Coach, been 0 for 6 from 3, and Tommy 0 for 4. Does it ever get to the point in the huddle where you say, hey, guys, just take some easy ones to try to get going?
They were easy. Tommy's butt naked in the corner. I mean, just wide open. Great shot. He's one of our best three-point shooters. How many of Ben's went in and out? If Ben doesn't shoot those, I won't play him. It's just a night where, again, you make 4 out of 10, and you're a great shooter. And tonight they just didn't go in. He might make the next 10. It's does it hurt us? Absolutely, it hurts us. When those guys miss shots, but Ben got to the front of the rim 2 or 3 times, 4 times. We ran the opening play of the second half and a little post up for him. Didn't turn out very well. Tommy got there 3 or 4 times. We felt like we could post him, but yeah, it's what they do really well. And tonight, just the ball didn't go in.
Time for 2 more.
Brad, when you talk about getting Dre and Trey going again, how do you practically do that when things have kind of settled a little bit?
They haven't settled. They were sick, and we found a nice little niche. Jake's been playing really good. Nothing's settled. I mean, that's the one thing about guys missing a lot of games. We haven't been real settled, and Will's been on. Will's averaging 20 a game off the bench, and Jake's been playing really well, and so it would just kind of, in hindsight, I wish I had played Draven a good amount more, but because he's the one guy who can continue to get downhill, and that's on me, and I'll have that conversation with him tomorrow. But we've got to have him to be successful.
The other night, you shared kind words about Kofi and what that moment meant to you as a coach, and speaking to this is partially why you do it. Tonight, it was.
Well, this is why I do it. But this is a big part of that moment. Man, I get emotional here. We get to impact people's lives, and you guys get to write about wins and losses and a bunch of crap. To be honest, we're talking about people's lives, and we get to impact that on a daily basis, and we get to do it when they're 18, 19 years old, and when they find success, and especially after they've had adversity. That's all I want for my children. I want the same thing for my children, and it's hard, and it's not easy, and when you find excellence like Terrence Shannon found, and you worked and you went through it, and you went through a lot of struggles that you'll never know about till he writes a book someday. You'll never know about them, and it was how hard it was. And when the day I don't care about that, I will retire. Then my time is done. The good Lord has another plan for me, and I can't. That's why I do it. And to have a jersey that will hang, and I know how important it is to the fans here, and I know how important it is to him. He's from Chicago. He grew up watching this, and to be up there with so few others. There's not enough adjectives. There's not enough words. There's not how proud I am, and it's been an incredible week seeing 2 of the 2 guys who deserve to have that, and I'm honored to be a small part of their journey, and till the next one.